Hey, Wemberg World Entertainment and CinemaCon is happening, and Paramount just did their panel and they dropped a crap ton of things, and I do mean a crap ton of things, and they've now confirmed that more Transformer movies are definitely coming. And of course the rumour is still running rampant that Michael Bay is set to return. We don't have that information, but we will take a look at this article that talks about this. So Paramount is teasing more Transformers is on the way. According to Deadline on X, Paramount leaders said at their CinemaCon presentation that Call of Duty, more Star Trek and more Transformers are coming soon. No other details were announced, but Paramount used CinemaCon to make clear it is still investing in Transformers as a theatrical priority, even if the studio is not ready to name a director, cast, story, or release date. That likely means Paramount is still sorting out what the next movie actually looks like, which would not be surprising considering how many different directions the franchise has taken over the years. And of course, one of the stories that is meant to still be getting floated about is the Transformers G.I. Joe crossover, but that seems to actually be in limbo right now, so we're not 100% sure what's actually going to happen with that. And of course, this goes on with what David Ellison said when he took over Paramount, which was he viewed Transformers, Star Trek, Top Gun, and something else, I think it was Sonic, all as these major priorities for the big screen for Paramount. So it makes sense that they would come out and announce more Transformers. So the CinemaCon tease also lands as rumours continue to swirl that Michael Bay could return to the franchise he launched in 2007. Reports and fan site chatter have pointed to Bay being in the mix for a new Transformers movie, though Paramount has not confirmed any of it. Rumours have said that Bay was in talks with Paramount to helm a new installment, but again, nothing official has been announced by the studio. What's funny as well is, with the amount of dog shit we've been getting from people over the past X amount of years at this stage, it's funny to think people are now kind of begging for the days of a Michael Bay movie. So, yeah, bring him back, why not? So, the same goes for Shia LaBeouf talks. I highly doubt Shia LaBeouf will be even approached about a return to this franchise. So it says, rumours have linked LaBeouf to a possible return as Sam Witwicky, but that also remains unconfirmed. The speculation got louder after fan chatter and online reports claimed LaBeouf suggested he was working on it, but there has been no official casting news from Paramount. Again, there's not a hope in living hell are Paramount going to want to work with LaBeouf. No way is that happening. They are going to turn around and go, we want to stay as clear of him as possible. We're not putting up with that headache. So Bay's first Transformer movie hit in 2007 and turned the brand into a massive live-action blockbuster series. He went on to direct Transformers Revenge of the Fallen in 2009, Dark of the Moon in 2011, Age of Extinction in 2014, and The Last Night in 2017. And what's funny is, after the second movie, Revenge of the Fallen, every single movie, he was like, I don't know if I'm coming back for this one, and he came back. Shia LaBeouf starred in the first 3 films as Sam Witwicky before the series shifted away from his character. After Bay stepped away, Paramount tried a softer reset with Bumblebee in 2018, followed by Transformers Rise of the Beasts in 2023. This year also marks the 40th anniversary of the release of the animated Transformers movie. And keep that in mind as well, that Transformers Rise of the Beasts, and there's still people who don't realise this, that is actually the sequel to Bumblebee. It's not meant to be just a spin-off from it's actually the Bumblebee sequel. And that is, like, how did you get to that movie from Bumblebee? It was so beyond ridiculous. That Rise of the Beast is a garbage movie. And Bumblebee was great. I really enjoyed Bumblebee at the time. But yeah, how the hell you went from that to Rise of the Beast? And Bumblebee's barely in Rise of the Beast. And when he does show up, they kill him. And then he returns at the very end for like 5 minutes. It was like, wow. And this is the follow-up to the Bumblebee movie. Wow, that's fantastic. So, at this stage, we don't quite know what direction Paramount wants to go in with Transformers. Again, Rise of the Beast did set up the spin-off. They still are talking about that spin-off with, or I should say crossover, with Transformers and G.I. Joe. That is still meant to be in the works, but they also want to go back to the mainline franchise. Question is, though, is it a full reboot? Do they start it again? Is it a soft reboot? Is it a full-on sequel to the Michael Bay movies? What do they do? Is it an alternate timeline? Is there something else? We don't know just yet. But the one thing they do seem to be quite clear on is that they do find Transformers as a priority for them on the big screen, and that seems to be in live action form as well, not animation form. So it's going to be very interesting to actually see what comes of this, because I think, again, when you had Bumblebee and you saw what they could do when you strip it back, yeah, obviously it has a fairly big budget and stuff, but if you don't just shovel so much effects into your face where the fight scenes are like the jumbled up crap where you're like, I can't quite figure out what I'm looking at. You know what I mean? That was the one issue you definitely have with the Michael Bay movies, is when the Transformers are fighting each other, they kind of mold into one and you're like, which is which? I can't tell them apart anymore. And there was just explosion here, explosion there, all of this stuff. And Bumblebee really didn't do that. Very much kind of pulled back on that and went, no, let's just have it where when things happen, you can tell what is happening, which was a great move to do. But again, then all of a sudden they went, okay, now let's just jump right back into the Michael Bayism style of Transformers with Rise of the Beast. And it was like, how did you manage to do that? How did you look at Bumblebee and go, wow, look how well that did, and you could see what was happening on the screen. Now let's just shovel all the crap back in there. It was like so strange. It really was. And of course, the opening scene of Bumblebee on Cybertron, everybody says that's what the movie should have been. That was the best Transformers movies in live action, and it was only like 10 minutes long, 10-15 minutes long. But maybe that's what they do. Maybe they start off a brand new movie series, but set the first one on Cybertron and have the fall of Cybertron and then them having the fleet tour. I don't know what way they're going to do it, but they're going to do it. So what do you guys think? What direction would you like to see it go in? Do you think it should be a full reboot or a soft reboot, or just continue on the stories, or what way do you think it should be done? Let me know what you think about it. And with that, I shall leave it there for this one. So do like and share and subscribe and all that good stuff. Cheers, and I'll catch you in the next one.